World War I begins at the dawn of the 20th century. Few anticipated a global war, but what came to be known as the Great War began on June 28, 1914, with the assassinations of Austrian Archduke Franz Ferdinand and his wife, Sophie, while they were visiting Sarajevo, Bosnia, a country recently annexed into the Austrian Empire. Many Bosnians and their Serbian neighbors resented this foreign rule, and the Archduke's visit to Sarajevo provided the opportunity for a small band of Serbian dissidents to strike back. Austria responded to the assassinations by teaming up with its ally, Germany, and Austria. Each country believed the fighting would last only a few months. Nations were categorized either as Central Powers or allies. Countries that joined the Central Powers, such as Bulgaria and the Ottoman Empire, supported Austria-Hungary and Germany. The allies were Russia, France, Belgium, and
Great Britain, but they were later joined by Japan, Romania, China, and US.
Artillery. Artillery was the most destructive weapon on the Western Front, machine guns. The machine gun was one of the deadliest weapons of the Western Front, causing thousands of casualties. Mortars. Mortars of all sizes were used on the Western Front.
32 million animals were involved in the First World War. They were used for transport, communication, and companionship. Horses, donkeys, mules, and camels carried food, water, ammunition, and medical supplies to men at the front, and dogs and pigeons carried messages.
Over 16 million animals served in the First World War. They were used for transport, communication, and companionship.
In World War I, 8 million horses and another 8 million other animals were killed. That is one for every human soldiers killed. This number also does not include all the wildlife that would have died and not been accounted for.
The impact. World War I was one of the great watersheds of 20th century geopolitical history. It led to the fall of four great imperial dynasties in Germany, Russia, Austria-Hungary, and Turkey, resulted in the Bolshevik Revolution in Russia and in its destabilization of European society. Laid the groundwork for World War II. Who was involved? The majority joined on the side of the Allies, including Serbia, Russia, France, Britain, Italy, and the United States. They were opposed by Germany, Austria-Hungary, Bulgaria, and the Ottoman Empire, who together formed the Central Powers.
What was life in the trenches? Trench life involved long periods of boredom mixed with brief periods of terror. The threat of death kept soldiers constantly on edge, while poor living conditions and a lack of sleep wore away at their health and stamina. And they had to dig a hole to use the bathroom, and I'm 100% sure it was miserable in there, and I think you can all agree with that.
Professor David Stevenson explains how the war came to an end and why Germany accepted the harsh terms of the armistice. To understand how and why the First World War terminated, we should remember why it failed to end sooner. In its middle years, the conflict became
a triple stalemate. At once military, neither side could achieve a breakthrough. Diplomatic, the two sides' objectives diverged widely to allow peace through compromise. And domestic political until the Bolshevik
Revolution of November 1917, governments in all the great power belligerents remained committed to victory. In contrast, on the Eastern Front, the crucial development, which enabled Soviet Russia's withdrawal from the
war formalized by the signing of the Brest-Litovsk Peace Treaty of March 1918. Was that a majority of the Bolshevik leaders was willing to concede all the Central Powers' demands, rather than risk being overthrown in any case.
Much of the Russian army deserted after the Bolshevik takeover, rendering organized resistance impossible. Even so, the Brest-Litovsk Treaty did not halt operations. In the summer of 1918, the Central Powers overran the Baltic coast, Ukraine, and the Crimea, and sent troops to Finland and Georgia.
right up until November, Hundreds of thousands of their forces stayed in the east.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching.